In part 1 of the Nimzo-Indian, we discussed the main line of the Rubinstein and its variations, arriving after the continuation, e3, castle kingside bishop d3, d5, knight f3, c5, castle kingside. This video will complete the Rubinstein system for when black castles immediately. In particular, we will cover the lines where white plays knight e2, instead of knight f3. Since the 1980s, playing knight e2, instead of knight f3, has become very common because from e2, the knight is in position to recapture on c3, avoiding the doubling of pawns. The two major lines where white does this are, the Reshevsky variation where white plays knight e2, immediately after black castles, and the modern variation where white develops the bishop before playing knight e2. The Reshevsky variation, named after Grandmaster Samuel Reshevsky, white keeps the knight on e2, until a3, is played to kick the bishop. The main line runs knight e2, d5, a3, bishop e7, c takes d5, when both e takes d5 and the more dynamic knight takes d5 are possible. In the modern variation, as dubbed by FIDE master Karsten Hansen, include the lines bishop d3, d5, knight e2, and the closely related variant bishop d3, d5, c takes d5, e takes d5, knight e2. In both lines white develops his bishop to d3, first so that it doesn't get blocked in by the knight on e2. Black usually continues c5, putting more pressure on white's center. While a3 and castle kingside are playable, the main line is c takes d5, c takes d4, e takes d4, knight takes d5, castle kingside. Knight c6, leading to an isolated queen-pawn position with white's knight on e2, rather than f3, as is normally the case. This gives black the possibility of playing e5, at some point. White's main options on his 10th move are a3, putting the question to the bishop, and bishop c2, intending queen d3, with an attack on h7. That completes the Rubinstein system for when black castles on move 4. Thank you for tuning into BK Academy of Chess, and I hope you enjoyed the video.